Okay, this is Jacob Schmidt with DeerHuntingSchool.com looking at a piece of property here for someone with video analysis. Jeff, I appreciate you letting me take a look at this. And first off, in your email, you had said you always kill deer where in real thick stuff where no one else goes, and that's exactly how I kill deer. In thick areas, in really thick stuff where no one goes. At least my bucks, anyways. 90% of them. Sometimes when I go kill a doe, I'll find I got some spots that are real close to roads where I know where does cross a lot, and I'll get 50, 100 yards off the road and I'll kill me a doe. That way I don't have to drag her very far. But my bucks, I definitely agree with you on the thick, nasty stuff that no one goes. That being where the deer are. Especially once the pressure hits. After the pressure hits for a while, that's where they bed at usually. And in the daytime, that's where deer spend 90% of their time during hunting season, is inside their bedding area, kind of deal. And I know you'd this here. The property line runs just a little bit north of here. Just a little different here. And you sent me that. It's like, oh shoot. Erase that. It's something like this here, which is going to be important because on this here, for guys that are looking at it, in case you want to watch the video and maybe learn something, a big part of this, there's a big chunk right in here that's clear cut. Something like that, and then there's a clear cut right in here, and this is going to be an important factor here. There's a clear cut here, and then all of this up in here is clear cut. This is going to be very important later, Jeff. And a lot of times when I'm hunting and stuff, a lot of times I'm thinking years down the road of what's going to come up later, because usually when you have a spot, you pretty well you have a spot. I mean, that the deer's coming there, whether they're coming there for, whether it's a certain food source, or maybe it's water, or they're getting in there because gun season started, and the pressure's on, and they're getting into this thick stuff, or maybe an island or something like that. You already know why they're there. So a lot of times I'm thinking down the road, and you'd asked about food plot and kind of stuff like that. And this area here would be a good spot to establish his food plot, and I'll tell you why. One, right now this is a fresh clear cut. Okay, here and here. Okay, now if you think about what's going to happen here is the deer, as these get probably 4 or 5 years, somewhere in there. I usually say about 4 years the deer will start bedding in them. Sometimes maybe 3 if you've had a lot of rain or something, and they grow real fast. But usually, you could be pretty well be on the safe side. 4 or 5 years, deer are going to start bedding in them, and they'll bed in there, until they're 10, 15 years old. So here in the future, this and this is going to become bedding. Okay, these two areas are, and when that happens, this area in the middle is trying to figure out how to change colors here. The area in the middle here, I don't know exactly where your property line here is, but I know that you're going to that you do have some here. Actually, I know you have some all the way. There's a band right through here that's not being clear cut in the middle of this on your property. And anytime you have a area of like that is you have bedding on both sides, is a really good time, is a really good area, especially in the rut, to pick up cruising bucks. And the reason for that is these bucks will cruise that, scent checking these areas. Say if the wind is from I have this Got this all drawn out, dang it. North is right here. North is about right here. Okay, and then that means east is about here. And then south is going to be something like this, and then west is going to be, somewhere up something like that. Okay, so north is actually about right there. Okay, about this corner's about north. Okay, so let's just say we have a north wind. Okay, which is going to mean the wind's blowing this direction. Okay, bucks will cruise this, especially right on the edge of it, scent checking for does that are in this, that are possibly bedded in here. Now, if you have a southerly wind, that's blowing like this, then they're going to still do the same thing because you have a bedding in here. Then also, when you have two bedding areas that are tight like that, you're going to get, what usually, I'm going to erase all this real quick. And then, you get a clear cut here, and then you have one here, the north here, and then you have this band through the middle, okay? What happens a lot is you'll have, does, a doe group or two bedded here, and a couple doe groups bedded in here, okay, because this one's bigger. Well, what you'll have, them bucks will get up there, obviously, in the rut, and, when they're in the chasing phase or the seeking phase, when they're in the seeking phase, they're gonna, search this thing and all over, and let me change colors. They'll get in here in the seeking phase, and they're gonna, look around and check every doe group in the thing. Well, then they're gonna move on to the next bedding area. Well, this is also a transition area where they will cut from one bedding area to another, coming up through here. Now they're probably gonna, establish some, you'll probably notice some rub lines in here in the future. And even now, because these are open, bucks that are, especially when it's, the pressure's on, they're going to, try to avoid the really open area a lot of times, and they'll cut in between them. Okay, so I even think now is pretty good spot myself. Okay, so, and I said about a food plot, it would be beneficial to have, I keep drawing these out just, to illustrate it because it gets sloppy. It'd be beneficial to have to establish a food plot here. And the reason for that being is you have another reason to hold these does tight to this area. Okay, and then you get into the lockdown phase, where the bucks are locked down, later in the rut, and he's with a doe, and she's bedded in here, and she's not moving much. That food plot may be the perfect thing to get her to come out of one of these bedding areas, and when she comes out, he's going to come with her. Okay, that's the kind of stuff that I think about when I see stuff like this down the road. What's going to happen? I really think that's going to be, a key thing, and it could be here, or you could squeeze it back closer to this swamp. But I would definitely get something set up in between them. I mean, you may squeeze it back in here closer to the swamp. And I would show your picture, but I don't want to just show the whole area. I don't want someone to be able to pick up and say, hey, I know where that's at, or whatever. And on your picture that you sent me, that has these clear cuts that show these clear cuts, there's names of who owns the properties, with the Onyx maps, that you sent me. So anyways, where exactly where they are. But anybody that's watching this, if you run across a situation like that and you have something that's going to be bedding in the future, and there's a little band going through it, it's going to be, it can potentially be some really good hunting. These bucks will chase these does and all kinds of stuff around. When they're chasing, in the chasing phase, he gets in here and he's chasing doe around. He's chasing her around for an hour or two, and he's dogging her, and eventually, she may get sick of it and run right out through here, and to go to the other bedding area and chase around here, and that just increases your shot. And this is multiple bucks will do that. So that's definitely in my opinion, an area to really keep an eye on in the future. And I would, if it was me, I would, get a food plot established in this area. It can be a small food plot. It's just something to, get that to hold the does in the area tight, especially in that time when the seeking, the chasing, and even the lockdown goes on. If you can hold does, if you can hold a couple families of does in this area tight, in a tight area close to this, your chances are going to really ramp up. To kill a buck during a rut. And the other, another thing I noticed about this property is this swamp. This is a huge swamp. It's not necessarily a bad thing, but it's kind of a bad. It's so massive. But one thing about swamps that I've noticed when they hold a little water, especially when it's hot, early season, if you're bow hunting and stuff, the deer will get in there and they'll stay in there a lot. Especially your does, bucks, whatever. They get in there and they'll stay in there, and the reason they'll do that is it's cooler. It's cooler in that swamp. You said cypress. I don't know if when you said cypress, you're talking about these oak. I just accidentally closed my dang. Hang on just a second. I gotta. I accidentally closed my stupid thing that I draw with. I don't know what the heck happened, but somehow I closed it. I don't know how to. But anyways, get it back up now. Forgot what the heck I was saying. Oh, in the swamp. The deer will get in there because it's cooler. And I didn't know when you said the cypress, if you're talking about this, because this is a lot lower area, and in these, and these, and these. But this swamp is definitely, I would definitely watch it, keep an eye on it, and I would definitely cruise the edge of this swamp. And I would look for rub lines from last year and the years before. If you're going to be out there this summer, anyways, I would be looking for old rub lines because, that can key you off, especially if you find rub lines that are coming in and out that are headed towards a food source. Now, one thing about this property, like with your oak, with oak trees and things like that, I don't know. I mean, you may have a few, but there's not going to be a bunch. It's mostly a pine plantation. And when you have that, you've got a lot of browse. There could be a few oaks in here. And I've had a lot of people ask me how I go back in time. And it's this little button, in case anybody wants to know. It's a little clock. I want to go back here, see if we can't get a black and white. Or not a black and white picture, but a winter picture. I know that's not winter. This one's saying it's winter. It's not. It's June. That one's a June picture. And this one might be. No, it's August. Yeah, it's black and white. Trying to find deciduous trees is what I'm looking for. And deciduous trees are trees that lose their leaves. This says, this is a December picture. Surely there's some deciduous trees somewhere in the area more than this is showing. This is saying this is December the 31st, which I imagine it is, but it's hard to believe that there's not a deciduous tree anywhere around, like oak trees and stuff. This is a December picture. Yeah, so you got some deciduous trees in here. So there's probably a few oak trees in this swamp. So anyways, what I was saying, I would definitely be looking on this edge here, looking for rub lines that are coming in and out. If you've got up in the swamp and stuff, if you've got some good oak trees that are going to be dropping acorns, you got to key in on them things at certain times. Now your entrance, you had asked about entrance, and you know here, this area that I'm talking about right up in here, you know, I would come straight off the road, right in, you know, straight in, and, you know, straight out. I really would. And then on you know, if you're hunting back in here, you know, I would just come in here. You're gonna have future bedding here, and then you're gonna have, you know, future bedding here, which you can't walk into this, but you get, well, you might be able. I think you said you might be able to hunt this, the northeast part, or the northwest or something. But anyways, up in here. But either way, you don't want to be tromping right through the middle of the bedding area. Okay, so I would come off, ride it back into here, and if you get this set up, and this is a clear cut, I would start establishing a food plot right on the edge of that joker there, that you can, you know, I would go ahead and start establishing, let the deer start getting used to it. Now let them realize, hey, there's a food source here. You know, even though it may not be the best hunting now, you know, because it's, you know, right out in the open basically, and plus it's competing with a massive a food source. When you have these clear cuts, you've got big food sources. It's a really good food source for the first 3 years, and then you're going to have bedding and food for, you know, the next, after you get about 4 years, you're going to have bedding and food for, you know, about 5 or 6 years, 7 years maybe, and then it's going to go mostly to bedding. You're not going to have so much food, and that's how these clear cuts and stuff work. So for now, you've basically got on your property here, you've got a really big food plot, natural food plot here. You know, when they clear cut it, because all of these plants and stuff that are regrowing here, then you've got another one up here. You've got a natural food plot, okay? Then you've got another one up here. That's why another reason, you know, these deer coming in here, especially these bucks are skirting this, you know, this area up in here, I would really keep an eye on, because you have deer coming out of this swamp and then cutting up into here at night, out in here to feed. You know, because all you've really got is a bunch of browse in here. You know, these have been stripped. We'll go back to the regular, normal, newest picture. All this has been stripped, so that I'm really thinking there should be some undergrowth in this for the deer to feed on and stuff. I want to go back and see if I can see when that was cut. Oh, my Lord. Let's clear all this out. This, what the, I'm not even doing anything in my mouth. My thing keeps moving. What the problem is. Zoom in just a little bit. Okay, this is 13. It looks like it's been cut there. That's 13 still. Okay, here's 11. This is December of 2011. And then this one is October of 2013. So I would say this was cut probably 2012. It might have been cut in 2013. These stripped stuff. So you've got some regrowth all over the property for deer to feed on. You know. And one thing, I'll tell you a strategy I like, especially gun hunting. I just really like gun hunting, a strategy. On these clear cuts, like you've got here at the bottom, and then you've got this one up here, and you've got this one here, obviously. You can't hunt that, or you might be able to hunt it, Either way, it doesn't matter. You can work on any of the clear cuts. Where these the one that really looks good to me to do it on, I forgot to draw again, is this one down in here. This one down here at the bottom. We're going to measure here real quick. Measure. I want to see how many yards about. I know that's not exactly how that runs. I know it's pretty. I'm going to measure this in yards. I'm assuming y'all can use a rifle in Georgia. See, there's 200 yards. If you're a pretty good shot, I think you could be pretty confident at 300, really, 300 yards. But I feel really confident at 200 myself, with a rifle. But anyways, the strategy I like to do, and I don't know how you feel about getting up high in trees, but on these clear cuts, when there's about 2 years, 3 years, I like to get on especially pine trees, because they seem to always grow they're at least here in Arkansas, they grow really tall and straight. And I'll take a climbing stand myself, and I'll climb way the heck up them. Now, I'm a professional tree climber since I was a teenager, so I can get I'll get so dang high. People don't even believe me. I'll tell them I've hunted 70 foot up off the ground, and people's like, man, you don't know how high 70 foot is. I'm like, yeah, I do. When you use a 150 foot rope, and you double it, and you rappel back down the rope, and you've got about 10 foot left on the tail end when you hit the ground, you're 70 foot up. So anyways, I've climbed trees, but so I know how high 70 foot is, but you don't have to climb that dang high. If you can get 30 foot, 25 foot probably, especially at 2-3 years. 25 foot is really will work. Now 30. Now we're talking gun hunting strategy here. We're not really talking about a bow hunting strategy, but this is my favorite gun hunting strategy that you could do, to me personally. And what I would do on this property, if it was me, is find me a couple, spots where these deer are bedding and stuff, and they're going to start bedding out in this clear cut. And it's an awesome strategy, I'm telling you. It's, in my opinion, the best way to kill a big buck in the rut, period, with a rifle, anyways. What I would do is get me a stand set up. You could probably do it somewhere like, let me change colors. You could probably do it somewhere like, and I know this isn't the exact thing. Where the line is on the clear cut, okay? So where the line is. So what you want to do is kind of get it on the corner. And then what I would do is get it up on the corner where you get up really high, and you can look out over this clear cut a long ways. And if you get up high enough, okay, I'm going to kind of draw it, and forget my drawing, okay? You get all this thick stuff. A lot of times, if you're 15 foot up in these clear cuts like I'm talking about, plumb up to, you can do it plumb up till probably they're about 7, maybe, well, I don't know, man, 7, they're getting pretty daggone tall. 5 or 6 years, you can for sure do it. Right in there. What you do is you get all this, I'm going to draw that better. Right here. Here's my illustration, okay? All this thick stuff. We're going to say it's about as tall as a deer. Pretty close, okay? Or right at the height of a deer. So, this is my awesome example of a deer, okay? You got 4 legs, and then he's got a body. Okay, and he's got a dang head, okay? So his head sticks up. Something like that right there, okay? About the height of this, okay? Now, a lot of people don't realize this, and these clear cuts and stuff, these dang deer are bedded out there, and they're out there all day long. And in the rut, the bucks get in there, and these does, they chase these does around. I mean, I'm telling you, I've seen it gobloads of times. They chase these does around all day long, and they're harassing them, and then, you know, that's where a lot of the breeding and stuff goes. I've never seen one breed a doe, but I've seen them chase them and stuff all in there. But if you were here a 12, let's say a 15-foot ladder stand, okay? You know, we're going to say this stuff is 5.5 foot tall, okay? So, you know, you're going to be about this high, something like that, okay? But the point is you can see out maybe 60 yards or 70 yards in it good. You don't realize it, but a deer that walks out 100 yards, you will play heck to see. You might see it every once in a while from, 15 foot up, okay? But then you get up here get up here about 30 foot or so, 25, 30 foot, you're getting up in here. You can see out 100, 150 yards out into this stuff. When them deer go to walking it around, you can see down into that stuff. I mean, it is awesome. It's my favorite way to kill a buck with a gun. And then reason I'm saying I put it on a corner is you can see out into this clear cut, but then get it where you can also see, get you a shot maybe 100 yards or so this way. So if, a deer coming like this, you may catch, big boy scent check in the dang cutover, okay, or the clear cut, the grown up clear cut, the 3-4 year old clear cut. You may catch him scent checking it, or a doe, or you never know. I mean, it's anytime you can shoot further, cover more ground, your chances go up, and then you get up high. And you can also, I do it, when I'm bow hunting. I get in stuff just like you're talking about, Jeff. That thick, nasty stuff. I find destination areas inside there. I'll try to find it's hard to find this in them clear cuts or them old thinned areas. It's hard to find oak trees that are producing acorns, because usually when you get in them, I hunt a lot of what you're hunting right here, which is they're basically pine tree farms. That's what they are. And usually there's nothing but pine trees. So, it's hard to find a dang oak tree. But if you can find an oak tree in there that's dropping acorns, it's good during that time when they're dropping acorns. Problem is that's not a very long span. I'll find ponds in there. That's bow hunting. It limits you to what you can cover. With a rifle, you can cover some serious stuff. And even these strip stuff like this, or selected cuts, where they've come in and done a TSI, which is a timber stand improvement, I hunt them a lot. Muzzleload rifle. I haven't muzzleload rifle hunted in years, but I'm actually going to this season. I'm gonna try to get it. I've never done it. Here in Arkansas, they have a triple trophy award. You got to kill a deer with a bow, a gun, and a rifle. And I've never done it, so I just said, man, I'm going to do that. I'm going to get the triple trophy award. It's going to be pretty fun. But so, anyways, I'm going to kill at least I'm going to attempt to kill a deer with a bow, a gun, and a rifle. Should be able to, no problem. But you never know. It's deer hunting. But I think my hardest part is going to be killing one with a gun or muzzleloader more than a bow, because during gun season and muzzleload season, I got to take my wife hunting, and I don't get to hunt very much during that time. But now bow hunting, I get to hunt a lot, so I take her hunting. She gets to do all the hunting, but I'm going to carry, I'm going to talk her out, let me shoot a doe or something with each gun, with a muzzleloader and a rifle. Hopefully, if she don't get too greedy, which I think she'll be all right with. So, anyways, that's going to be my hard part. With a bow, I have no problem killing deer. I can kill them all the time. But I get to hunt. It's hard to kill deer when someone else is shooting them. But anyway, so this year I am going to be doing that, and I guarantee you, when I do get to hunt, I'm going to be hunting with a muzzleloader and a rifle. I'm going to be hunting stuff like this right here. This your entire property. These strip stuff, I hunt them a lot. I try to get way up high, and I use climbing stand, and I get up as high as I can possibly get, where I can see, like I talked about, you got this stuff growing. I get up high as I can. I can see down into that stuff. A nut, which it's not going to help you here, but if you have it on hills, helps a lot too. If you have a big clear cut that's running down a hill, because you can get up on the upper side of it, get 25, 30 foot up, and then you're up on top of a hill, and that even helps you see down in there more. But I get into that middle of that nasty stuff. I mean, a lot of times I have to take a pair of hand printers and go in there and cut me a trail in to get in there to get my stand to even walk in it so thick. And I mean, there's some big deer just come cruising through there right in the middle of the day, big buck, and you can lay them down with a rifle. Or, nowadays, muzzleloader and rifle is about the same. I mean, 200 yards is hardly anything for muzzleloaders anymore. But that's a really good strategy on this property. And you've probably used that strategy if you like hunting that thick, nasty stuff. I don't know if you're not scared of heights. And if you are scared of heights, just just get as high as you can possibly get without being just scared. No deer's worth getting hurt over. If you hunt 15 foot, maybe next time hunt for a week, hunt 17 foot up, and then a week later maybe 20 foot up, and then do that for a season or two, and then you can maybe get 25 foot up or something. Make sure you wear a harness and stuff all the time. And you can get up in there and see down into that stuff. A lot of them ladder stands nowadays are 20, 22 foot. The single ones, I think I've seen some 25 foot ladder stands. A lot of guys feel a little safer in them, but anyways, that'll get you up pretty good, especially if you can get up on a knoll or something. A knoll, I'm sure you know what a knoll is. It's flat ground and you got a little hump. You get, it's 5 foot hump, and then you get 20 foot. There's 25 foot up there, and you can really, see some stuff. So, anyways, as far as entry and exit in the rut, honestly, when I'm hunting stuff like this here, I take the shortest path. What I try to do is when I'm entering, I really try to enter with the wind blowing into my face so that it's not blowing my scent. If I'm entering like that, I don't have the wind blowing my scent, plumb over here somewhere, having me a scent cone going like that on my way in. So I'm not doing a deer drive as I go in, and I would take chain. If I were you, you can plan out, take your dang chainsaw, walk through there and cut you a path. Well, a lot of times deer will start using that path. Take your chainsaw or hand pruners, machete, something. Dang hedge trimmers would work really, really good. Take your pair of hedge trimmers and just trim all the thin stuff where you can get you a path where you can walk in there quiet down some of these trails, these stripped areas. Trying to do this. Trying to zoom in here. And on food plots, if you're wanting to put in more than multiple food plots, I would use these landing pads. And landing pads where they is basically where they bring all their logs when they they put their log where they load the logs and stuff on the semis, which is this here. There's one there, and I'm sure I didn't look, but I know there's one up in here where this clear cut is, and then there's another one. There's going to be another one somewhere down here where this clear cut is down here, and there's a landing pad here. There's one right across the street. If you want to put multiple food plots in, I would use them. But the food plots, in my opinion, I mean, you can kill bucks on them if it's the right situation. But what the food plots really do, in my opinion, it really holds the does in an area. And you know what happens when you have does in an area and the rut comes in, you're going to have bucks. It's just all there is to it. Um, yeah, the bucks will get in there, but just seems like a lot of times, unless that food plot is tucked in real tight to a bedding area that a group of bucks is using, um, they don't make it out into the food plot until after dark most of the time. Um, but say you had a food plot here. If it was me, I wouldn't put one here, right here, and one right here. That's a little bit too close together. They'd be competing against each other. Not that it's necessarily a bad thing. That okay, yeah, there's a group of does here may come out be able to feed here, while a group of does here can feed, and they're not actually competing against each other, but it splits them. If a group of does may be bedding in here, and one day they feed out here, and then the next day they feed out here. If you just give them one spot, you know where they're going to feed. You know where they're going to come from. A lot more predictable, rather than if you put them this tight, close together, one here and one here. You don't know which food plot to hunt. If you may hunt this one and they come out here, you may switch and hunt this one and they come out here. Kind of deal. Now this one's going to be far enough away that you're not probably going to pull deer from plumb over here to here in the evening, kind of deal. And looking at the area, me looking at this area, I don't see, obviously I can't tell, what everybody's doing around here, but I don't see any, a lot of food plots, stuff like that. Now I know that you're far south, so you've got an extremely long growing season. Okay, we're talking alligators far enough south. You've got an extremely long growing season. These deer aren't going to freeze to death. They're not going to have a lack of food. They've got a lot of food. Should have high deer numbers in this area because of all the logging, all the browse, the natural food that is available to them. I would just take advantage of, for the most part, what you have. Take advantage of some of the other stuff, like I talked about, getting in between some known bedding areas, putting a food plot in there to draw the deer out of them and to hold does close to the area. That's all I would do, and then I would maybe put one down here. And that's just basically to hold does close to this area. And then this landing pad here is going to be close to this food plot, this clear cut. Okay, this food plot here would be close to this. So, I would start working them in to where you have the one up here and then the one down here. Start planting it right now. And maybe, even if you don't plant them this year, at least you can, work on getting them cleared, getting them ready to plant. And, and then next year plant them and then, take care of them, for the next, 6-7 years or so. And that gives you 2 good food plots. You could work on one this year, one next year, something like that. But if it was me, I would try to keep them, they're clear right now. I would try to keep them that way, and it'll save you some work. You can go in with a dang. You can go in. You can do them with a dang weed eater. I've done food plots with weed eaters. We'd eat the stuff down, take your chainsaw, cut the little trees down, kind of rake around the edges really good, and then burn the thing down, and then throw you some seed out. Go in there first, spray it with Roundup, then you can come back, cut it all down, burn it all, and then throw you some seed out. Or you can just go in there, spray it with Roundup, kill it all, wait the following year, let it all die out, and then as soon as spring comes up and stuff starts sprouting up, come in there, heat it with Roundup, and spread your seed. You can do that as well too, and that, it's if you don't have any equipment. If you have equipment, it's not easy to put a food plot. Food plots are a lot of daggum work. I can tell you that. I've put some in. To do them right, it's a lot of work. But I would go ahead and plan on it now and get them set up. Even if you don't hunt it for 2 years, you're going to have bedding down here, and this food plot here is going to hold the does really tight to this area. It's going to make some good hunting. And then you can set up high in a tree, look out over the dang clear cut. You got does there. You're going to have bucks in the rut. Okay, the food plot, you can set in between the bedding and food plot and catch the deer coming and going. Kind of deal. You know how to deer hunt. I can tell by your email that you kill your deer in really thick, nasty stuff where nobody goes. I mean, to me, that is it in these type of areas. Getting in the thick, nasty stuff where nobody goes, and the deer pile up in there and they bed in there, and that is deer hunting to me. I mean, that's where they're at, kind of deal. I think I covered pretty much everything. I covered the entrance, and stuff like this. I would cut me paths, and I'd keep them clear. Go down there with a chainsaw in the summer or early, and cut you a path, and come in and out. And you be careful though, because deer will start using it. I mean, you gotta be careful, but deer will start using your path. If you keep a trail, you'll start noticing dang. Rubs will be on your trail. You'll be walking in opening morning of bow season. I do it all the time, and I'm walking down through there, and there's dang fresh rubs right down my path to one of my stands where bucks took it up, and he's coming down it. But anyways, so I think I've covered everything that you had talked about, kind of deal. So anyways, I hope you enjoyed the video, Jeff. If you have any questions, shoot me an email. I'll do the best I can to answer them. If you kill any deer or something, send me a picture. I've had some guys kill some bucks bigger than I've ever killed that I've done video analysis for. I'm going to put some videos together. If you've been following me for very long, you probably noticed I didn't put very many videos together this season of any deer I seen last year. And the reason for that is not that I didn't see any deer. I've seen a bunch of deer, and I filmed a bunch of deer, but my dang computer crashed right around the end of deer season that I had all my stuff stored on, and it erased every bit of my videos, every one of my trail camera pictures, all my pictures. Matter of fact, the deer that I killed, I have a video of him. I mean, I killed a buck last year, the second weekend of bow season, and it arrayed. I don't even have a picture of that deer anymore. I have a video of him. I have his rack, but it erased every dang thing. I have trail camera pictures, and it's aggravating, but So if you do, I have pictures of other guys that on my emails. They've sent me emails, and I'm gonna put a video together, but I've got to get some more. I've got to get some raw video to put it together. I don't have anything. My computer crashed. But so send me a picture if you kill some deer, big bucks, whatever. Some of the guys have given me permission to share their pictures of the bucks they've killed. I mean, there's some guys killed some doozies, 150 plus deer. I've got pictures of, and I'm gonna put some videos together. But anyways, if you have any questions or anything, like I said, just shoot me an email, and I hope this helps you out. I hope that what you found isn't a whole lot different than what I talked about, because I don't want you to go in being all super confused or nothing, and thinking, well, I need to do this instead of doing this or that or whatever. I would use what I gave you as something to add to what you found. Okay? Kind of deal. So anyways, I appreciate it. Anybody else that watching the video here on YouTube, I appreciate you watching the video. I hope you guys learned something from it. Check out deerhuntingschool.com for more tips, information, things like that on deer hunting. This video analysis right here is a service that I offer on my website. You can go there at deerhuntingschool.com. There's a tab that says video analysis. You can click on it, check it out, and then you can pick a YouTube video like this or a downloadable video which is private. And a lot of guys do that, especially if it's public land. They'll do a private video where no one sees it because obviously they don't want somebody watching the video and knowing where they're hunting or what have you. But anyways, you can do that. And anyways, I hope everybody learned something. I hope it helps everybody out. Jeff, I really hope it helps you out a lot, and I appreciate you letting me take a look at it. Send me an email and keep in touch. I appreciate it. Bye-bye.